This is one of the best movies you've never seen. Now, I will warn you, the movie is 3 hours long. But also, I will warn you that this movie shows one of the worst exports from European colonization. And a lot of Europeans may get mad, or descendants of Europeans may get mad at me about this video, but you'll be all right because it's truth. Now, before I even say anything, I also want to make sure that you understand. I do not believe that people all over the world was walking around singing Kumbaya to one another. They weren't. They still have their wars. They still have their conflicts. They still mistreated each other. But one of the main exports from colonialism, and it is greatly displayed in this movie, is that the British people, when they colonized India, they displayed a level of dehumanization and such a disgrace of humanity that it goes beyond bounds. To the degree that multiple times within the movie they explain the process of one bullet that reaches the muzzle of a British officer's gun, and how one of the persons, the people, the brown people, were not valued above the cost of £1 of a bullet that was made in England, traveled across the sea, and ended up in that soldier's rifle. And so they would torture them and dehumanize them in multiple other ways. Even in such things that we today would see as crazy, but we see it all the time. Workers show up to work in one of the British compounds. One of the gentlemen doesn't have his ID. Instead of the British officer telling the person, hey, you can't work today, leave. Instead, he begins to beat this person mercilessly until he's stopped by a woman, a British woman, who sees it as terrible. The thing about it is that prior to colonization, people around the world, even through their conflicts, maintained a level of decent human respect for the person as being a living being. But what we have lost and what's been exported around the world is supremacy based on the tone of your skin. You go to certain countries, and here in America as well, you will see that the native people who are now in control of their government will still value a person based on their lightness or darkness. The darker you are, the worse you are. The lighter you are, the better you are. And the treatment of people and how we treat each other. We will give more credibility to someone of a lighter hue than we would give to someone of a darker hue. Simply because we've been trained through this export of brutality to people who are lighter than you. And all of this began with the colonization of the world from Europeans. We got to get back to our